the end of the day, we're going to beat these people. I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but it's been a hard fight. And these people hate our children.
This is huge. The U.S. Supreme Court just upheld a $1.4 billion judgment against Alex Jones for his Sandy Hook hoax claims, and they rejected his appeal.
I believe mass shootings happen, and they're real tragedies. And I believe Parkland happened.
And you believe Sandy Hook happened?
Absolutely. I have been branded as the Sandy Hook guy. They say, I can't believe you're not in prison for what you did to Sandy Hook. All they know is Alex Jones, Sandy Hook, dead kids. So,
well, I don't think that's, I think the majority of them are angry because the narrative has been that you're sending people to these Sandy Hook families' homes.
Exactly. And I'm not, and I never have.
That you're responsible for these people getting harassed because you said on your radio show that it wasn't real.
Yes. The amount of Sandy Hook coverage against me has been so insane and so huge because it's supposed to be the first domino that once I'm taken down, then all the dominoes fall.
Looks like the family is there, and they're getting ready to to come to the microphone, so we'll listen up.
Okay. So my name's Robbie Parker.
You've done mocking imitations of Sandy Hook parents crying, correct?
No.
I want to play you a video clip, too, from September 24th, 2014 and November 11th, 2016. Will you play the video clip called Crying?
And then you've got parents laughing, going, and then they walk over to the camera and go, and not just one, but a bunch of parents doing this. Then we see footage of one of the reported fathers of the victims, Robbie Parker, doing classic acting training where he's laughing and joking, and they say, hey, we're live. And he goes, oh. And maybe that's real. I'm sure it is.
Let me make sure I have this really clear. Mm-hmm. You don't believe the official story of Sandy Hook. You think there was cover-up? You think there was manipulation? You think that there is some sinister thing going on?
I think children died. I believe mass shootings happened. They just had one in Brazil, a tragedy. And I believe it's a crisis. And I go back to the point of all gun owners being collectively blamed. Then it's traumatic, and so people go and they find anomalies, and then I've kind of retrospectively gone back and seen how I did believe that stuff. And then I go back and I've now studied more, actually, the real anomalies, and it's just the school system and government trying to cover its rear end from liability. And so there definitely has been there's been a cover-up of the events.
Take us through that week, Robbie, as you start to experience the beginning of this campaign. Just take us through those next couple of days and what this incoming is looking like.
So it was early in the morning, the first time I'd ever heard of it. It had just been hours since I had given that statement. It hadn't even been 48 hours since Emily died. And that really threw me off. I was talking about how I felt somewhat grounded, and I was looking for something to keep me stable because my compass was spinning. I didn't know which way was what. And seeing these comments broke that connection I had, that stability. And it was just like this littering of things, and they were still interspersed, the love and support, and then these comments, and the love and support, and then these comments. And I showed it to my sister-in-law, and she just tried to reassure me that there's just these crazy people that this is what they like to do. They just like to take things and exploit people or whatever. And that made me feel a little bit better. For some reason, I knew that Alyssa had requested space, and she didn't want to be bombarded with questions, and we are having to start to plan a lot of things.
According to Fake Stream Media, the U.S. Supreme Court rejected an appeal from who they call conspiracy theorist Alex Jones on Tuesday and left in place a $1.4 billion judgment against him over his description of the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting as a hoax staged by crisis actors. Now, we need to see this for what it really is. It's an all-out war and projection campaign against free speech. They're not just saying that Alex Jones' speech isn't protected. Don't you dare spew your fake news online or use your platform to air your opinions about official government stories and mainstream media spin, or they'll come after you too. But don't think for a second that Jones, who looks like a CIA asset, isn't playing his part to destroy free speech either. He could have stuck to his guns and claimed that what he said was the result of his reporting, just like what CNN said was the result of their reporting. He could have said, I made my claims and I presented my evidence. Now it's up to you to prove that my conclusions are untrue. This would have put him and all Americans on solid ground in their quest to question government official stories and fake stream media news. Instead, Jones gave up and apologized. Remember, he said, quote, I now understand it was irresponsible to declare Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre a hoax, and that it was 100% real.
And you believe Sandy Hook happened?
Absolutely.
The InfoWars host had argued that a judge was wrong to find him liable for defamation and infliction of emotional distress without holding a trial on the merits of the allegations lodged by relatives of victims of the shooting, which, according to the claims of fake stream media, killed 20 first graders and 6 educators in Newtown, Connecticut. The justices didn't comment on their order, which they issued without even asking the families of the Sandy Hook victims to respond to Jones' appeal. An FBI agent who responded to the shooting also sued. A lawyer who represented Sandy Hook families said the Supreme Court had properly rejected Jones' quote, latest desperate attempt to avoid accountability for the harm he has caused. You get what they're saying here, right? They're saying your free speech causes harm and therefore you must be punished. Not just Alex Jones, but all of us. Meanwhile, the major news outlets can promote lies about wars and invasions and weapons of mass destruction that create a climate where real people die in real conflicts, and nothing happens to them. One of the lawyers said, quote, we look forward to enforcing the jury's historic verdict and making Jones and InfoWars pay for what they have done. They didn't do anything but report what they thought was the truth. Or at least that's the idea coming out of InfoWars. A lawyer who represents Jones in the case didn't immediately respond to an email seeking comment. Jones filed for bankruptcy in late 2022, and his lawyers told the justices that the plaintiffs have no possible hope of collecting the entire judgment. Jones is separately appealing a $49 million judgment in a similar defamation lawsuit in Texas after he failed to turn over documents sought by the parents of another Sandy Hook victim. In the Connecticut case, the judge issued a rare default ruling against Jones and his company in late 2021 because of what she called Jones' repeated failure to abide by court rulings and to turn over specific evidence to the Sandy Hook families. And then the judge convened a jury to determine how much Jones would owe. The following year, the jury agreed on a $946 million verdict, and then the judge later tacked on another $473 million in punitive damages against Jones and against Free Speech Systems. That's InfoWars' parent company, which is based in Austin, Texas. One might hold the opinion that Jones' parent company may also be a part of this PSYOP. Think about it. An all-out war against free speech systems? That makes it even more clear that this is a real war against everyone's real free speech. And when Alex Jones capitulated, by extension, he put everybody's free speech on the chopping block. In November, the satirical news outlet The Onion was named the winning bidder in an auction to liquidate InfoWars assets to help pay the defamation judgments. But the bankruptcy judge threw out the auction results, citing problems with the process and The Onion's bid. So the attempt to sell off InfoWars assets has moved to a Texas state court in Austin. Right now, Jones is appealing a recent order from the court that appointed a receiver to liquidate the assets. Some of Jones' personal property is also being sold off as part of the bankruptcy case.
Well, here's another thing. Let me tell you something. We all know that you fucked some things up, right? And your biggest fuck up is Sandy Hook. But you've gotten so many things right. And this is why I keep talking to you about these things and why I defend you and why I think that it's fucking dangerous to censor you and to say, oh, this guy, we need to get him deplatformed, get him all these things. You're revealing some things that have been proven on the show so far to be true.
In my opinion, this is another dog and pony show projection campaign where they're not just after Alex Jones and free speech systems. They're after all of our free speech. If you dare air your opinion online and use your platform to question the government's official story or fake stream CIA infiltrated Operation Mockingbird MK Ultra Media's spin, well, guess what? You get your speech eliminated and we'll take your assets too. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you get something out of these videos and you want to support the channel, you can do it for free. Just like this video, share this video with everybody you know, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon. And remember, the price of freedom is now and will always be eternal vigilance. And indifference to this notion is the means by which the people have and will secure their own oppression. Let's stop securing our own oppression. And let's start today. I'll see you in the next video.